Okay, Golden Globe lovers, the awards are just days away, and the hardest ones of all to predict, of course, are those rascally TV categories. Chris Beachum, looking over your predictions, you and I have a lot of disagreement here. Just walk me through your prediction for drama series, drama actor, drama actress.
Okay.
Start there. To give you a tough time on two of those. Go ahead.
I know which one of them is going to be actor, I bet.
Right.
Everybody has convinced themselves that Kevin Spacey is absolutely going to win that category. And I think they think a little more strategic than that. Remember, he's a producer on House of Cards, too. I think they're going to give House of Cards the series award, thereby giving Spacey his Golden Globe, giving them the opportunity to go for a Clive Owen, who they've given a Globe before over a decade ago in drama actor.
Okay, that's not going to happen. But what I do like about your prediction, and I do believe that Clive Owen can win. What I do like about that is your bad choice is at least a movie star, because we know that they often just go for the movie stars in this category. Now, jump over to drama actors, Chris, and defend Ruth Wilson for the affair issue.
Well, I just changed that one. Look, I don't think Juliana, Claire, or Robin have a chance. They've won for these characters before. We know Globe voters usually like to move on. So I think it's a Ruth Wilson, Viola Davis. Last year we saw everybody thought the hottest star in the world was Kerry Washington. She didn't win this category. I'm going with Ruth because The Affair is up for drama series. And right. Ruth got in surprisingly a few years ago for a what was it, Daniel? For was it Luther?
I think it was the TV movie.
TV movie, yeah. So there's already been an idea that they like her in the past, and I think this is Showtime's award for the night.
All right, let me straighten everybody out right here now. Last year, after the Golden Globes, we thought for sure that we figured out the crazy split that happened. For example, they had never gone with Breaking Bad before, so we knew they were going to go for it for drama series. And then my thought was, well, they love to spread the wealth, and we know they do, so they'll give drama series for Breaking Bad. They'll give Kevin Spacey the award for drama actor, and then I forget who we picked for drama actors.
Kerry Washington.
Yes, Kerry Washington. But then what ended up happening, of course, was that Breaking Bad won both awards. It won drama series and it won for Bryan Cranston. And then it seemed as if they panicked, those Globe voters, because they do think strategically, and they went, oh, we got to give Netflix something. So, oh, we'll give it to Robin Wright, who, of course, is the least deserving winner there. I mean, she was great in season 2, and she probably would deserve to win for season 2, but not for season 1, right? So that's how it looked when you Monday morning quarterback the whole thing. But now, Tara Khan and I were talking the other day, and Marcus and I were talking last night. What if there's another explanation for what happened there last year? And if so, what does it mean for this year? And I think here's the theory, Chris. Follow this and see if we can talk you out of what you've got there into this new thing, because I think we're onto something. When you look back at whatever wins series, it generally wins a top acting award, just as Bryan Cranston won last year, just as when Homeland won in recent years here. It took Claire Danes along for the ride. It happens in comedy series even more often, where Girls wins and Lena Dunham wins. So you see this pattern all the time. Series wins and the top star wins. And Tarek was saying last night when we were chatting, that's why Taylor Schilling's going to win. If you accept Orange is the New Black wins comedy series, Taylor has got to win. All right, so let's say then that if you go for House of Cards for drama series, then you have to go for Spacey here, who has never won a Golden Globe in any category, and of course he's the film star, double Oscar nominee. Suddenly that makes sense. All right, then what do you do with drama actress? Well, Viola Davis is a 2-time Oscar nominee, of course, and we can't just equate her with Kerry Washington, because they're both black. I mean, we're doing that, and shame on us for doing that. But of course, these are both also very soap operatic drama series, How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal. That's another parallel there. But the thing is that she is the movie star. And I know How to Get Away with Murder doesn't have other nominations, and I know they love The Affair so much they've nominated for drama series, for drama actor, and they may want to give it something, and that it's very possible we could see Ruth Wilson. In fact, Tarek is picking her. Now, Marcus, I'm coming to you. That said, I'm going for House of Cards, Kevin Spacey, Viola Davis, because of the movie star thing. Where do you stand? Actually, and Marcus, where did you stand 24 hours ago before we started over crystal balling this whole thing, and where do you stand now?
Well, I haven't changed from those three. Those are also the three I have. But when we talked yesterday, it really cemented it in my mind. So I'm not going to change any of these. Even Brooklyn Nine-Nine last year, it won series and it won an acting award. That's a huge pattern that I think is going to stick this year. I think it's going to be House of Cards and Kevin Spacey. It's not going to be Robin Wright again, as Chris said. This isn't the Emmys. The Emmys love to repeat over and over and over. The Globes hate doing that. You know, unless you're Claire Danes, they hate doing that.
So Chris, what do you say about all this pattern that we're observing? Where
I told you all before we started, I could be convinced on some changes, but what if we're going the wrong track? What if The Affair wins and Ruth Wilson wins? That would still clarify your position. Look, especially in drama series, they have gone some weird directions sometimes, and it could be The Affair, Kevin Spacey, and Ruth Wilson. Look, I will say this. Out of all the theories on movies and TV, I will say that they like to split up and give as many networks, as many studios wins as possible. I am 100% convinced that Orange is winning comedy series. There's no doubt in my mind there. So do they really want to give Orange and House of Cards both their series awards?
Wow.
Where do you stand when you hear all this awardsology from us?
I have been with House of Cards, Kevin Spacey, Viola Davis for a while, but I've been shaky on a couple of those. I think Kevin Spacey I'm actually the most confident on for Best Drama Actor, a TV Drama Actor. Drama series I've got House of Cards, but it did air a long time ago. You know, those episodes debuted, you know, last February or March, and you know, the Golden Globes have a very short attention span, and you've got The Good Wife, which has been, and it's got the cool factor more than ever now, and it's never won this top category. And The Affair is the new show; it just finished airing. You know, even Game of Thrones was more recent than House of Cards, and it has that cool factor also. So, you know, I'm not 100% convinced on House of Cards. Like Chris said, I think Orange is the New wins comedy series hands down. So if they don't want to give Netflix both prizes, it's drama series where they're going to drop it. And best TV drama actress, I've got Viola Davis, but I have those same reservations that they didn't nominate it for best drama series. And you know, the fact that they nominated The Affair for best drama series makes me think Ruth Wilson does have a very good shot of winning this.
Well, okay, but then whose predictions am I looking at here? I'm looking at Chris's.
Changing. I'm officially changing.
Oh, we've talked you into. Oh God, help us now.
No. I'm going with The Affair, Kevin Spacey, Ruth Wilson.
Wow!
Chris last year predicted Amy Poehler when no one else did. Or I think after he predicted it.
That series thing does mean a lot. And that, remember, we were sitting here 1 year ago today talking about they have justified giving Amy Poehler the trophy by putting Parks and Rec in for comedy series. The one time it's ever been up for comedy series at the Globes.
But the other thing is the Don Cheadle win. You know, when he won 2 or 3 years ago, his show House of Cards was not nominated. We think now that he won because he was the big movie star. That's why I'm going with Viola Davis. There's no way I'm changing that prediction. Yes, her show's not nominated, but neither was Don Cheadle's.
And very good point.
I did switch to Kevin Spacey, though. If I'm going to say that about Ruth Wilson, you know, Clive Owen's The Nick is not nominated. I think if they were going to give him the award, that they would have nominated him, nominated the show there.
Okay.
Right. Gosh, how strange is it that Downton Abbey is nominated still? It goes.
Oh, come on!
It goes against what the Globes stand for, which is, you know, honoring hip new shows. It's just very, very surprising. It doesn't seem to fit in with the Globe strategy.
Yes, it does. The category is called Best Drama Series, and it certainly is one of the best 5 drama series on TV. All right, Tom O'Neill has spoken, right? So, all right, comedy series here. Orange is the New Black. Can anybody make an argument for anything else winning here?
Transparent has a shot, but I think they're going to take care of that show with Jeffrey Tambor.
I do too. Do we all have Tambor for actor? You know, Tarek has William H. Macy because he's the movie star. That theory. I yelled at him and called him an idiot last night when we did the podcast. You have to listen to it.
I think Macy actually has a shot over at SAG in a few weeks. I think he will be the guy that they look at as being the most respected in his category there. But all right,
what about our buddy?
Globe. It's not like they love him.
What about our buddy Ricky Gervais? I think he could pull off an upset here. Okay, Derek is not up for Best Comedy Series, but of course he has not been nominated at the Globe since he hosted those couple times. And yeah, he was really vicious the first time he did it, but then they were kind of forced actually to invite him back to show that they were such good sports about being ribbed the first time. Then he was kind of tame with them. I think that when people go through horrible conflicts like that, they get closer, like family members and family fights draw people closer within those groups. And I think that Ricky now has established himself as a kind of Globe's insider in a way. He certainly pulled off upsets years ago when the British Office won Comedy Series and won for Best Actor for Gervais. So he's done that at the Globes before, and he's kind of like, if your explanation for Amy Poehler winning last year is because she was the Globe's host, Ricky really is in their mind too, and maybe invited back again. Who thinks? I believe that there's a real good chance here that Ricky could pull off an upset. Who agrees with me?
I think there's a shot. I'm predicting Tambor. I have Ricky Gervais in second place and William H. Macy in third. I think they're the only people who are really in the conversation here at all. But yeah, Gervais, and certainly, the Globes, like you said, the Globes invited him back, to prove they were good sports. It might be a good opportunity to give him an award to show that they're good sports and that all is forgiven. And because getting him back on their Golden Globe stage to take potentially even more pot shots at them while accepting an award, it could be good TV, and they might consider that also. But I do think Tambor is pretty far out front.
By the way, Ricky Gervais agrees with us. The other day he and I were going back and forth on Twitter like he loves to do with us, and that prompted me to write an article about the fact that let's warn everybody that Ricky, this is his backstory. It could lead to an upset for Best Comedy Actor. And then he sent me a direct message saying, well, you know what, I kind of think it's Jeffrey's year too. And he put a little smiley face there. So.
Well, it was just announced he's going to be a presenter, so we're going to see something from him interesting on stage, no matter what.
One thing
also, going back, they've got so many Netflix awards already for House and Orange potentially. Again, they're going to spread the wealth. I don't think there's going to be any real call for Ricky to get that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And you know what? He wasn't nominated for the first season of Derek. Like, he was the first season of Extras, first season of, what was the other one? The Office. So the fact that the Globes kind of missed the Derek train on the first season is unique for the Globes because they love to honor shows right when they come out of the gate. They completely ignored it the first season, so it's kind of weird that he's even here the second season.
All right, so what the hell is this Gina Rodriguez, Jane the Virgin thing? I have never seen this show. I know she's the hottest thing on TV. What is all this? I mean, is she the perfect Made for Globe star, Daniel? Because she's gorgeous. It's hip. The young kids are watching it. But is it an international hit? Chris, as of now, has Gina Rodriguez winning comedy TV actress. I don't believe it's going to happen. I think it's Taylor Schilling if you accept the argument that Best Comedy Series wins the top acting award. But Daniel, what the hell is all this Gina Rodriguez gushing going on?
This is a tough one for me. This is another one where I'm open to be convinced because, when the nominations first came out, I had Taylor Schilling, and then our fellow writer Ralph, who is the president of the Gina Rodriguez fan club,
and the Uzo, whatever her name is, one.
Yeah. He's been convincing me, and I've recently moved her up to my #1 spot. I mean, as we've talked about spreading the wealth, if Orange is the New Black wins Best Comedy Series and takes an acting award, and House of Cards wins Best Drama Series and takes a top acting award, that's 4 of the top categories going to Netflix right there. So, and though Taylor Schilling is great on Orange is the New Black, the show is really an ensemble piece and not really, her singular case. So I don't know that there's going to be as much reason to award her with the show. And then you consider that not only did Jane the Virgin, Gina Rodriguez get nominated, the show was nominated for Best Comedy Series. They nominated Jane the Virgin over Veep. It's this huge achievement getting in over there, even more so than TV Comedy Actress. So it's sort of like with Amy Poehler last year. If the comedy series nomination might indicate how strong she is for Best Comedy Actress, and this might be where they spread the wealth.
Chris, you're predicting Jane the Virgin.
Yeah, well, not for series. I'm very torn on this category. I totally understand Taylor's argument. They even nominated her over a drama actress last year when they were trying drama category, so they like her. When Marcus and I were emailing back and forth last night, it hit me all of a sudden on Julia. We're all writing off Julia, who's won 3 Emmys in a row, because Veep isn't up for Best Series. But then I started thinking, and I even sent a message to Marcus, another little trait about the Golden Globe voters is they don't like to look clueless and backwards and behind the times either. That's why Breaking Bad suddenly won last year, and Bryan Cranston. They don't like something to get so much industry acclaim, and they've never recognized it. And I just start wondering if Julia, having won 3 Emmys in a row, if they start feeling like, wow, we can't let her leave this show without giving her a Golden Globe Award. Not that that's ending anytime soon, but it's just made me start feeling like maybe we're writing her off too fast.
Marcus?
Yeah, this is a 3-woman race. Poor Edie Falco, poor Lena Dunham, they're not really in this race this year. But when I emailed Chris last night, I think the email subject was Schilling, Rodriguez, or Louis-Dreyfus. Who will win? Because I had a feeling Chris would tell me. But it ended up complicating it in my head. Now I have no idea who to go for because he gave reasons for all 3.
Right.
The thing about Veep not being nominated, that does hurt it. And
that hurts a lot. It hurts a whole lot.
And Julia was hotter last year because she had enough said and she had Veep up. So she could have won last year. This year, I actually took her out of my predictions, I think, after our emails, Chris, and I put Taylor Schilling in my first spot.
Gina is really, you put all of the other stuff together with the comedy series nomination. She is their profile, or their prototype. She is, on the film side and the TV side, when you're trying to figure these things out, the hot, young star, especially on the actress side.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, and what did we learn about
the fact that she herself is Latino? That's another, foreign language people, foreign Hollywood foreign press, they love international stars. She's got so much going for her, and I'm not going to be tricked into fooling myself on Julia yet again. Julia's only won 1 Globe in her career, and that's been about probably 20 years ago for Seinfeld. So anyway, I think it's Gina.
And what did we learn last year from Brooklyn Nine-Nine? If there's one new person, and I'm talking about Andy Samberg last year, he was the only new person in his category. This year, Taylor Schilling, she was nominated in drama. So really, Gina Rodriguez is the only new actress.
Oh, I like that point, Marcus. You're onto something there, maybe. Interesting.
So it is. You can make a case for all 3 of these ladies. So I don't know what to do. Is there a 3-sided?
Well, taking that theory back to drama series for just a second, and this is why I'm moving the affair in. They like to be the ones that really establish something. Remember, they were the first to recognize Homeland. Just talking just recently, they were the first to recognize Girls. Homeland that same year didn't even get SAG nominations, not even for Claire Danes. So they like to be first. House of Cards has had 2 big opportunities at the Emmys and really come away with nothing major. I think they might like to be the ones to establish the affair as a possible Emmy show, and it really fits their sensibilities. They love those complicated, well-written, and in this case, a romantic. I'm really thinking we're onto something here, or at least I am with the affair-winning drama series. And they've never shown that they like American political kind of stuff very much. They gave West Wing a couple of awards, but not much.
Chris, why are you going for Fargo over True Detective for Movie Mini?
Well, I think it's one or the other. In just looking at, and we were working on an article the other day, and You would think the normal heart, but that Julia Roberts snub is massive. I mean, massive. I don't think Olive Kitteridge is going to win here, and I don't think The Missing is going to win here, although it could. I think it's Fargo, True Detective. They both over. Here's the thing with Globe voters: there's not many categories, especially on TV. It's not like the Emmys where you can look at the cinematography and the art direction and all that and try to figure things out. Both True Detective and Fargo overachieved. True Detective got in Beyond the Two You Expect. They got in Michelle Monaghan. And Fargo got in Beyond the Two You Expected. They got in Colin Hanks, who you and I, Tom, talked the night before, and I said he was going to get in because they love children of people they've already honored before. And they got in, they put Alison Tolman, I mean, I know that's where she was campaigned there, but I mean, for her to get into a lead category and kick out like a Cicely Tyson and some people like that, I mean, that's why I think Fargo is going to win, and it'd be a good award for FX to win.
Now, Marcus, you've got this Fargo theory going on, right? Explain that.
Yeah, I was talking to Daniel yesterday. I can't believe no one realized this. If they did, forgive me for not knowing, but Frances McDormand and Alison Tolman are both nominated for TV Movie Actress. And, of course, Frances originated this role in the Fargo movie that Alison is now playing in the Fargo TV show. So, yeah, I want there to be a tie. I want both Fargo ladies to get up there and grace the stage together. How great would that be?
But why, Marcus, do you have Maggie Gyllenhaal, or is this Chris? I'm looking at Chris's. No, he's crazy. Who do you have for? You have Frances McDormand winning, Marcus?
Yes, I have Maggie in second, just because she's.
Oh, you have Maggie in second as well. Oh, okay, you're both crazy then. No, it's not. That's not going to happen. What could happen here is we could see. This is where Spread the Wealth could happen. This is where we could see Frances O'Connor win for The Missing. They gave stars an award last year, but of course it was Jacqueline Bisset. It was the movie star they went for. So and that's not who you really how you think of Frances O'Connor here. But if we're believing in Spread the Wealth, I think, and they love The Missing. The Missing was really exceptional, and it's international. Yeah. So that's something that's important here. And sometimes they do like to go with the underdog choice. So I think that is the second. I'm going with Frances McDormand like the rest of you guys, but my number 2 is O'Connor.
And I'm looking very quickly here, but I don't think Frances has ever won a Globe.
No, she didn't win for Fargo, right? McDormand, right?
I was looking to see. I knew she didn't win for that, but I was looking to see if she had won for anything else. But again, a chance to catch up with somebody. And every year there's some movie or miniseries person. Sometimes there's 2 that go on that sweep. And Frances McDormand is going to win the Globe, the SAG, and the Emmy, I believe.
Yeah. Now, Daniel, nobody can beat Matthew McConaughey, right, for actor limited series?
Probably not. I would say of these 3 top categories, limited series and actor and actress, I'd say that's the safest bet. Even though he just won last year for Dallas Buyers Club, of course, he still got the movie star heat. I could see an upset. I could see Mark Ruffalo winning. He's also up for Foxcatcher. They might, want to spread some wealth to the normal heart. I could see maybe Billy Bob Thornton. He's another movie star, but they would both be surprising. I think McConaughey is not necessarily a lock, but I think he can be relatively safe.
Now, we all know that Bill Murray is nominated twice. He was up for St. Vincent, and he's in for supporting actor for Olive Kitteridge, and this is where he's probably going to win. They love their Bill Murray. They gave him the Globe for Lost in Translation, my least loved movie of all time, in a tie with The Hours. So they're going to award Murray, the movie star, someplace. They're going to award him here, yes. Let's talk about the real cliffhanger among the last of these categories here, and that is TV supporting actress. And this is where we can bring all of our theories to our crystal balls and try to figure this out. We've got, I do too, I think, Uzo Aduba up to win here. But, they're not going to give Orange is the New Black, Taylor Schilling, Series, Uzo. They're not going to give it all of these things. And the movie star theory comes into play here with Kathy Bates. So does she win because of this adoration they have of film stars in the TV categories? I think no. I'm sticking with Uzo, although I could be talked out of this in a second. I'm sticking with Uzo because they've obviously seen the series. She's obviously fun at the podium and all of that. But Kathy Bates is in a horror movie, and I think that gives voters the permission not to go with the film star. Marcus, let's go to you. What do you think about this race? This is a tough one.
Didn't Jessica Lange win this category back when she was supporting for season 1?
Yes.
I'll check that real quick, but I think she did. And it's the same thing this year. I have Kathy Bates in first. I'm not even questioning that decision. She is the most famous person. I mean, Allison Janney, kind of famous for TV fans, but she's not a movie star. Allison Janney isn't, and the Globes don't really like her. I know Tom and Tarek in their really, really fun.
We were quoting Chris. Chris has this theory that they don't like Allison Janney, right, Chris?
She's never won, yeah.
Well, I don't know that they don't like her, but going back to like we talked about House of Cards and political, they never gave her an award for The West Wing, and I don't think she's ever done anything else beyond that they would have noticed. So I think they probably. I mean, I love Allison Janney personally, so don't tell me that they don't like Allison Janney, but they certainly have not ever given her an award.
Well,
and Mom is not. They don't like. They have never liked. In the last, I'm not saying never. In the last 15, 20 years, all these CBS laugh track comedies, they don't like them. They don't like even Everybody Loves Raymond. They didn't love that either.
Daniel, what do you think happens here?
I've got Kathy Bates to win, but I couldn't be less confident about that. I think Uzo Aduba could win. Allison Janney could win. It's like Chris said, the CBS laugh track comedies, they didn't nominate it anywhere else. I'm not convinced there's a whole lot of love there. The Golden Globes do weird things. Remember a few years ago, they were really late to the party when they gave this category to Chloe Sevigny for Big Love. That was sort of out of left field, out of nowhere. So I'm even looking at Joanne Froggatt. They nominated Downton for Best Drama Series when we weren't necessarily expecting them to. She had a big standout storyline, and she's not like the movie star kind of name who you'd expect them to name check, like Julia Roberts, who didn't end up nominated. They nominated Joanne Froggatt. So clearly there's something there that they were paying attention to.
Over Maggie Smith.
Yeah, and over Maggie Smith. So I would not rule her out. They like Downton Abbey. They have never awarded Joanne Froggatt, obviously. It would be a chance for them to sort of to make a new mark for someone, a fresh face.
I see that as a real possibility.
I just moved Uzo into first. I've had Kathy Bates since the nominations, but just looking things over and Ralph being right so often lately on Uzo, surprising me every time she's got a nomination. Even at SAG, where she's up against lead people, they had to reach really far in their love for Orange to even select Uzo over, say, a Kate Mulgrew. So I'm thinking that also they'd like a good show. I think they would just like to see what she would do on stage.
Yeah.
She never got to give an Emmy speech to a mass public. So
if they give it to Uzo, that means they're free to not give it to Taylor Schilling too. So that opens up. Maybe instead of giving it to Taylor, they give it to Julia Louis-Dreyfus or Gina Rodriguez. So, this Uzo thing is really interesting. I'm sticking with Kathy Bates for now, but we still have, 3 or 4 days?
This is the first time in the history of American Horror Story it's not up. So, that tells you, I think that tells you something.
Good point, Chris. Wow. I didn't click until you said that. Interesting, yeah.
And back to supporting actor for just a second, I think we kind of blew past Matt Bomer there. I've got Bill Murray in first as well. I think it doesn't always happen, but often, when you do have a couple of nominations, they do try to give you some, one or the other. And he's the biggest film star of that group, not excepting John Voight, who won last year. And I was the only one there for a while saying, everybody's sleeping on John Voight. He's going to win. But Matt Bomer he's their kind of guy. I mean, not that he's a film star, but I mean that good-looking. I think they'd like to see him on stage.
It's not going to happen, Chris. You're stretching it there.
What about Colin Hanks, though? We talked about him just getting the nomination.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of crazy thing.
Tom will be there. Tom's one of the producers on Olive Kitteridge, so I could. they love children of stars so much they actually let them hand out the trophies. So
yeah, the Miss Golden Globe thing is always the daughter of a famous star, right?
Right. So he's not. If I knew that for a fact, I would tell you then that True Detective was probably going to win miniseries. If I knew Fargo was getting its award through Colin Hanks, I think I'd switch to True Detective on miniseries. But I think it's Bill Murray. I hope he shows up. I mean, he may not, but he also gives great speeches. I think a voter marking his name would think, oh, I can't wait to see what he would do on stage.
Bill Murray was even at the New York Film Critics Circle event the other night, giving the bestowing an honorary award to the curator of film at the Museum of Modern Art, and I was stunned. I am not a big Bill Murray fan. I think he's very, very smug and all of this, and so. But I'm gradually being won over because he was absolutely electric and hilarious and brilliant at the podium, and he was winging it too. You could just tell when he was giving that award. So yeah, I would love to see him create some mischief up on the Globe stage.
And back to TV movie actor, how hot right now is Martin Freeman? I mean, The Hobbit, Sherlock, he's up for Fargo. He's surprised at the Emmys. Everyone thinks Matthew McConaughey is a lock here, but I mean, you have 4 Americans, and then you have Martin Freeman, who's the only foreigner in this category. So don't count out Martin.
Well, that's true. I think that category, I know we blew past it and just all said McConaughey, and I've got him in first, but you could honestly make a case for all 5 guys there. Well, maybe not Woody Harrelson. I don't think they would give it to Woody over Matthew McConaughey, but going back to that theory of, Ruffalo having 2 nominations, do they give him 1 here? Billy Bob, I don't know if Billy Bob's ever won a Globe before. McConaughey, remember, they think strategically a little bit. I mean, McConaughey's probably going to be a presenter. They always invite back the previous year's film winners. So do they think, he'll be on stage anyway, let's give it to somebody else?
Yeah, and the fact that he won last year for Dallas Buyers Club, I think that hurts him because the Globes don't like repeating here. I think I might change to Martin Freeman. I think I've convinced myself.
Oh, they're not giving Frodo a Golden Globe, for God's sake. Get over this. Sometimes we get so carried away with our theories that we.
But how boring that we always pick the same thing. Someone has to.
Yeah,
someone has to be
Marcus, I think you should pick Frodo. Go for it.
You know what's weird about this category too? Back to the theory of 2 nominations and big stars and stuff. If Benedict Cumberbatch had been nominated for Sherlock here, there is no doubt in my mind he would have won.
And I think he's a threat for actor. I think we could actually see him win up in the film side. We didn't talk about that when doing those categories, but he pulled off the upset at the Emmys recently, and that he is these Globe voters love the international stars, and we know how huge Benedict Cumberbatch is around the world. Anybody who runs a website like we do, we just put his name into a headline and Google explodes. The traffic stampede to Gold Derby is unbelievable, usually from these foreign markets. So they know that over there, and he sells newspapers, which they write for. Benedict Cumberbatch could be a major force at the Globes.
He is a shocker that he's not nominated here, and on the TV side.
Yeah.
He just won the Emmy, too.
Yep. Any final thoughts? Daniel, let's start with you.
I've been, as we've been talking, I've been moving things around. I haven't actually moved any winner predictions yet, but now that I think I've talked myself into changing TV supporting actress, that's the sort of category that is so weird that and so close, and it's hard to gauge this year that no one would blame me for being wrong in any direction. So I might take a chance on Joanne Froggatt and see if it pays off.
That could happen. It could actually happen. I agree.
Before we started, I was 100% convinced it would be House of Cards, but gosh, this affair thing you guys were talking about, and look at Gold Derby right now. I just did an article yesterday. Collectively, Gold Derby is predicting 4 for Netflix and 4 for HBO and none for Showtime. We know that's not going to happen. We know they're going to spread the wealth. Showtime is going to win something, so maybe it's the affair.
Maybe.
I'm wondering about that.
I don't think you helped me at all. I helped myself a lot though in this conversation. just talking through things. I think I'm onto something with the affair, and that's going to be my wild card pick this year.
Okay. Well, we will give you all the credit. I am not getting off the House of Cards ticket here. I think you're crazy with this affair thing, but I just don't get the affair. It confuses me so much, and it seems so pretentious that I've got to go back and I promised myself to watch them all, over the holidays, but I just put it off because it's looks like quite an investment of time.
But it plays really fast because every episode is basically like 2 half-hour shows because it's from each of their points of view. So I find that each episode sort of feels very quick.
Okay. On that note, we will wrap it up. Those globes are a mystery, but they're a lot of fun to try to predict. I think that we've done a very good job among ourselves as prognosticators, coming up with new theories and new ways to size up these races. I think that when the awards play out this Sunday, we're going to finally figure this out. Of course, we said that last year. We are idiots, all of us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on Globes Day. Come here to Gold Derby. Make your predictions before then because we're giving away prizes, including a $100 Amazon gift certificate that we hope you win. We want you to beat us. Do it.